Thank you, guys. Uh, this is our market update. This is our first session. Where I am right now is 8 a.m. In London, it's 6 a.m. You can see. So in the next 2 hours, next 1 hour, yeah, next 2 hours will be in, next 1 hour, 40 minutes will be in London session. So this is the reaction we're having right now on the first pair of choice. Uh, we said, just as we said, I told you, I expect price to have a pullback there, right? And I told you this all lies into what? How the 4 hour will form. We'll move based off the 4 hour formation. So if we put on the weekly time frame also, this is what I always tell you about. Price tends to start with a weak pullback. Then, as you can see, there is no any weak rejection for this buy. So, meaning that price will come back at this point and start selling. Okay. The question is, how are we going to sell this? Okay. And we have no OG level in this case. Yes, this is our OG level, but at which point can we sell them on the 4 hour time frame? Okay. So this is the higher high. This is the higher low. Okay. So in the 4 hour perspective, this is where you expect price to give you a break and then a sell this point here. Okay. Because this is the only last higher low where you had price shifting from. And if price made the break, in the normal situation, when you see a break like this, and price breaks below, you are waiting for a retest at this point, then you sell, right? But in this case, the retest has gone below inside. So when we are below or inside or above, not below, we're above our OG level, what we wait for is price to break outside and retest the level, and then we can sell. Okay. Uh, Let me see if the daily is at the right position. No, this is the right position. Um, we can just do this a bit. Yeah, but this is the right position. Um, so now, uh, what does this mean? This means that this break above should come provided the price doesn't make a new higher high, okay? A new lower low. But in this case, when price breaks above like this, we'll have a new uh higher lower high and a new lower low. Because we take out this current lower low here. Okay? and you want price to break above this level. And there is a high chance that price will break above at least with this kind of push. So this will mean that we have a new lower high and a new lower low. And this will mean that our shift will be now waiting for a retest from where this shift will happen from. Okay. So this might be decided by how price retests. Can maybe get something like this. Okay. If we get a break in this way, this is easier to sell because we take out the lower low and we have another point where we can sell from, which is at our OG level. Well, we'll now just wait for price to come back here and then we'll sell. Okay? Making us selling at least at the OG level, which is this point here. You see? And giving us at least something like that. Because our exit point is this level here. Well, we have to make sure our risk to reward is making sense. Also, you know. So we'll see how the 4 hour just plays out. Uh, we'll see how the 4 hour will play out. That's what we can say on this pair for now. But what would be nice if the price makes a new higher high and then later on shifts at this point. This would be very interesting. Okay. So we have two scenarios. Price can either do that or price can simply just break below from that point. And we'll wait for a retest there and then sell. Yeah. But we'll just see how it reacts as we approach all these sessions this week. NZD USD. Remember, we're waiting for a daily retest. Mm, you don't know if I can do this. So we need our daily retest at this point here. Okay. Mm, this is because we already analyzed this. We want price to come back at this point and show us it's holding. Then we can sell. Right now I can see some progress. Uh, yeah, we're having some progress there. Mm, what would be nice also is if we can have a new lower low, something like this, lower low and lower high. So that when price comes back at this stage, we'll just be waiting for a shift and then we can sell. Okay. Yeah, this is what we can wait for. This might be the first scenario. Mm, whereby the moment price comes back here on the daily time frame, you just wait for the daily rejection, already knowing that the time the daily gives us that bearish close. The 4 hour time frame will also have a nice shift. Mm. So you can see this is what we are waiting for. Basically, just want price to come back here. You know? And right now, everything is just a bit slow because the market just started moving. Uh, so we're just going to wait and advance with it step by step. AUDNZD. um, we are waiting for that bearish candle. Um, and for now, this is where we are. So we are trying to see if the bearish candle will engulf and show us price wants to sell. When we get that engulfing, that would be a very nice sign. And again, in the same situation, you heard me saying I want price to give me a new higher high and a new higher low. So at least when I get that shift, it will happen at my daily OG level here. Okay? Because in this case, I can only sell when price is below this point. Hmm. And what does this mean? It means that price will start making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And when this happens, I can't sell at this point. I'll be waiting for price to retest back into this level still, okay? So this can be a very good way of price giving us a selling opportunity. But you know, price can do a lot of things in the 4 hour time frame. That's why you see my main focus is the daily and weekly. Because the 4 hour can make these same lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, uh, and lower highs, something like this way. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And then once it breaks it, and the daily ends up giving us that bearish close we are looking for at this point, right? And then we can see, because this point, we can't really sell at this point. So it's just a matter of us saying either price will test to the OG level or we've missed this trade. And this means that price will retest this level. But even in the same 4 hour time frame, price can even break above this lower low, lower high, and make a new higher high. And then shift again, and then give you a selling opportunity at this point. So that's why you see me always emphasizing on let's take our buys and sells at the OG level, because price can do anything. Because price can give you a daily close like this with a weak pullback that maybe broke above this, below this level. And that weak pullback can be a 4 hour shift and a 4 hour maybe medium retest at this point. Let me just do something like this. Just do something like this. And let's say this is the week pullback on the daily time frame. Okay. So this week pullback on the daily time frame can easily be a 4-hour shift like you saw, and the market closes like this in the 4-hour time frame. But in the daily time frame, you're having this break below and the pullback here. And in the 4-hour time frame, you're having something like this. Um, Price closing at this point here. The same daily candlestick. Okay. But in this point, in this case, I can't buy and sell here. This is not my OG level. Okay. So what can price do the next day? Price can easily make a short, higher high, and a shift at this point. But this might be all a small what? A small bullish close right around this level. If maybe in fact with this kind of bullish close, you know. But if I start doing that, I might just confuse you with the predictions. But the only thing you should know is when price breaks below here on the 4-hour time frame and everything is still bearish on the 4-hour time frame, mm, we'll still wait for price to come and give us an entry signal at our OG level here. That's the one way we can sell at this point here. So if it can break in this way, that's fine. We can wait for a retest at this point and sell. Okay? But the 4-hour comes later. Uh, 4-hour comes later. What's important now is the daily time frame close. Because if the daily closes in this bearish candlestick, we'll know that okay, now we want to sell. So this new week we are here. This is where we are. Mm, Yeah, so price is on its way making that two formation. But yeah, so we'll see what happens today. Mm, this is USD card. We already know what we're looking for. Uh, so we are just waiting for a daily retest at this point here. That's the only thing we need. And a shift and a shift at this point. Okay, this isn't the 4-hour time frame though, because the daily time frame, all I need is just price to come back here and give me a bullish rejection at this point. Uh, so this is what we will be looking for, that rejection. And then what do we have after this? We will, when this happens in the 4-hour time frame, interestingly, what happens is the 4-hour takes out this uh, higher low. So the 4-hour will come back here, bearish. This push below will be a bearish for our time frame. Okay, meaning if price comes back at this point here, and we get that pullback, let's do this. When we price starts dropping like this, before I will go bearish at this point, and when we're at this level, when we're waiting for this daily engulfing candle, the moment that happens, therefore I will shift and go bullish, making everything in line for buys, and we can then buy. You see, that's the whole concept. That's the whole concept, my brothers. So we'll wait for this to happen. But before I come second, what's important is just the daily retest and engulfing there. ADJPY. Also, what's important is that daily retest. And I told you when we get this daily retest, there will be a high chance that the 4 hour will be bullish because it might make a new lower high and a new lower low. Then once this starts happening, it will go bullish. And when we are here, we'll be waiting for a shift to then sell. Okay? But the first important thing is the daily retest at this point. Then our next move will be determined on how price reacts at this point and how it retests that level. So these are the pairs that we chose. Now let's go through the ones that we left out for next week. NZD card, like I told you, we need that daily push. And there you can see the 4 hour is trying to make a new lower low and a new lower high at this level. But this is no OG level. If you put on the daily time frame it is, but uh this is not where we plan to buy from. We want to buy from price being bullish at this level. Here or at this point. Just depends on how it breaks. So that's the whole update. AUD card, I like that indecision candle going on so far. It's a nice retest. I like to see that the daily is likely to make a very nice lower high and a new lower low here. So that when we get that shift on the daily 4 hour time frame, sorry, and we get the retest, and the time on the time we get that buy, the daily will also have the engulf the daily rejection we need to show us price wants to buy, and then you take the buy. Okay. But the only reason I avoided this for this week is because of the kind of weekly candlestick we had, and the daily had a very strong retest. So this just showed me that price might have a leash more bearish words to say before we start buying. Yeah. Yes, DJPY, price hasn't retested this level yet. Eurocard, you see what I was saying, this is risky because price has a very high chance of taking out this low. Um, And that is what might happen soon. Well, this is the only place we can buy from right now. Why? Because the weekly never broke above this level, so I can't start buying at this point. Okay, so I can shift my buys at this point if the weekly decides to break above this point. Okay, so then for now we still want to buy at this level, but that means that when price comes back here, it will be bearish on the daily time frame, meaning you have to wait for price to shift when you buy. AUD. Yeah. Mm, GBPAUD. Nice start in the weekly time frame. Uh, Remember what I was showing you on the daily time frame? You either expect a new nice lower high, lower higher low, and a higher high, then a shift at this point, or you expect the same thing. This would be your higher high and a higher low, and then a shift from this point. Why? Because price wants to sell and it needs a way to make the daily back bearish. Okay. And the only way it can make the daily bearish is if it takes out this level right now. And this level won't attract sellers because it's not an OG level. Okay. Mm. And why again I need this kind of confirmations to happen is if you can look to your left, you can see we have a very nice head and shoulder here. Here. This one at this point. So it's also another reason why we wait a bit. DNCD. Well, the last one is GBP AUD. Oh, that hasn't happened yet. We are still waiting for the daily shift at this level. Then we can now consider what to do next. Okay. ZAR USD, we're still making a new lower low. And so, but the weekly changed bearish, so we are now looking for sales for now. Back at this point, Bitcoin, we need now price to shift on the weekly time frame. Then I'll be ready to start participating in these buys. Anyway, see you in the next session. Let's see how my friend opened first. Again, he opened with another uh imbalance. He was supposed to open from here. But I just wait on the day to give me a very clear shift on the daily time frame. Okay, so that's it for now. Mm. Uh, this is Bitcoin. So you can see Bitcoin is at least having that rejection, the daily time frame, but I still need that major shift on the weekly time frame. Okay. So just a minute. Uh, okay, so we are back. So we are still going to do the same uh, analysis we have on this pair. We just have to wait for the shift, and then we can start the journey of the buys in this Bitcoin pair. So for now, we are still waiting on that weekly shift. And ZAR USD, I still need the shift at this point, and oh, I still need the retest at this level because the weekly is now bearish. So I need price to shift this point, then we can buy. Then this is our first pair of choice this week, Euro GBP. So let's just go through what's happening. Mm, as you can see, this is uh this is uh this is the daily time frame. Then we're having that rejection I was telling you about. Uh, so in this case, don't really mind the 4 hour time frame. Okay? Because remember, if we wanted to buy, we still have to wait for price to break below uh this level. Okay? What does this mean? This means that sorry, yes. This means that price has to break and then retest, then we can sell. Okay? But if you look at this structure very well, and you see my take profit at this point, this really means that price is most likely to not give us a reasonable entry at this point. So then what do I want to see this price movement? I want to see price making a higher high so I can have at least my shift at this OG level here, you see? This is my scenario. Or if price decides to break below here, I need a level that will make me wait for a retest at that point and then sell. Okay? Because then the 4 hour will be bearish and the 4 hour will be bearish when it takes out this low. You see, so when we take out this low, this will mean we'll be waiting for a retest at this point here. And when we get the retest at this point, you can see at least it will be OG level. Mm. Then we can have a sale somewhere there. You see? This is the other scenario that we can use. Uh, but again, this entry should at least the engulfing should be reasonable to give me my at least minimum risk to reward. Okay. At least a minimum 1 to 3. That will be fine for us. If we can't get that, then we can't really take this trade, even if it looks clean. Let's say if the engulfing starts from this level here, I can't really take the trade. Okay. Even if it might reach my take profit. So, so I'm expecting price to make a higher high and a shift so we can sell. Yeah, I think this is what we can use, right? Yeah, this is what we can use. Because if I sell here, it will be 1 to 2. Unless if that's why I'm expecting price to make a high here. So that we can get at least the sale at this point, you see? Then we might reduce our level. Yep. But now we'll see. We'll see.
How much? 50 each. Yeah. When you go pay now? I think I was gonna pay.
We'll see how
He
price will
has to
change.
pay now. Put for this. Let's change. Then I'll give you probably maybe.
This is NZD/USD. Okay. So now with NZD/USD, we are still waiting for price to retest that level. If you look at the forward time frame, like I was showing you, this is what I want to see. I want to see price making a new lower low. You see, so that once we get the shift, the retest at our level there, you'll see that we'll be selling at a very buying and selling at a very nice position. Okay. So let's see if the daily can give us that 4 hour shift so that when price comes back here, we can just easily wait for the daily confirmation, knowing that when we have the daily confirmation, the 4 hour will also have that shift there. Here, you see? So I want to see the 4 hour making another lower low. Yeah, then that would be a very nice start. So the next thing we have is UDNZD. You can see we're having progress there. We're having the pair having that bearish push. So we are only concerned when we break below here. Okay. Then we can really consider the kind of break we have, okay? But as you can see, the price will be making these lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, so that we can when we get the shift, just wait for a retest and engulf in, then we can sell. Okay? Because when we get that break, daily break, uh we can have the daily pullback around this point, uh giving us this retest on the 4 hour time frame. Then price can continue selling. Yeah. And this means it will start its sell at this point. Okay. With a weak pullback at that point. You see? This weak pullback ending up being the 4 hour retest, you see? When we get the break right there. So everything is just fine. Mm. The next thing is if price doesn't break below, you still wait for price to come back. When price comes back here, you still wait for price to shift the forward time frame, and we will apply the same strategy. Because all that matters is the is the daily giving me this daily candlestick, either from that level or from this point. I can still work with these cells. Okay. So we are very much open to every move that the market can show us. Okay. Mm. No, so I think that's what we are only waiting for. Just drive this from this point so it doesn't disturb us. Uh, okay, so let's continue. NZD card price seems to continue buying up to now. You can see now this is a 1 to 7 trade. Uh, I think from here we can just wait for price to come back here also. There's nothing we can do, right? Just wait for that to happen. Yeah. Already I showed you the 4 hour will shift when it comes back at this point, meaning we have to wait for the 4 hour bullish shift also. But that comes in when price is at this point. So for now, still just need price to come back here. Then AUD JPY. Price has done a very interesting thing. The 4 hours made the lower low as expected. You can see. Now all that's left is we should have a shift and price to start retesting back here. Then we can have that 4 hour shift. Okay. When we have that 4 hour shift, meaning we have that daily holding candle. You see? Mm. So this is why you saw me that yesterday I was saying when you see a very strong bearish close, expect the next day to also sell or buy if it's a bullish close. Okay. So what we have, I think that's what we have, yeah. And let's go through the ones that we are going to be looking at next week. NZD card prices kind of trying to revive itself. Mm. The daily time frame. The 4 hour time frame also trying to in some sort revive itself. The only way we can buy in the 4 hour time frame is above this zone here. So unless price ends up making a higher high up to this point and a lower low, then shifts from this level, from my OG level here, then we can buy. I don't get that. I do nothing at all. Okay, because I need that shift around this level, or even from that point, but it just has to be. I just need the shift. Okay, either from this level or from that level. from that level. Okay. So that's what we'll be looking for. This is AUD card. I told you, even though the daily came with a very strong bearish push, we need some confirmation here. Mhm. And so far, I like the way the price is kind of holding. It's kind of holding interestingly. This is the 4-hour time frame. If you guys can see this, this is a very strong symmetric triangle. Okay. So if price breaks above or below, price will buy. If I put in the 2-hour time frame, you see it clear. Oh no, it's not clear on the 2-hour time frame. Let's see the one now. Yeah, it's just clear in the 4-hour time frame in this case. But most of the time it's clear in the lower time frame because it will be at least spaced out like that. That's how it looks in the lower time frame. But anyway, it's still the same thing. Uh, I want the 4-hour print in a new lower low, in a new lower high. At this point, and right now I don't have it. So I expect price to make a new lower low. So it can shift and then buy. Okay. Upon having that shift, this leads to my daily. Uh, this leads to my daily having this daily holding candlestick, you know. You see? Then we can participate in a buy. Okay. Then we have USD JPY. Oh, price is retesting. This is nice. So if price is retesting, we are hoping it comes back to this point and it might take out this higher low. It might make to start making these lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Then we can have a shift. And once we have the shift, that will be the daily holding candlestick. And we can buy now. Eurocard, like I told you, there's a high chance that the daily will go bearish because it has to retest this point where I can only buy from here. Okay? So this means that when price retest this level, it means that I have to wait for a shift in the daily structure that will now shift and will give me a proper indication that the daily also wants to buy. So that's what I'll be waiting for here. And that's why I delayed on adding it to next week. GBP AUD is having that first rejection, and I expect it to give me a new high low, so we can have a higher high next year. Or price breaks above and does the same thing, it's still fine. Then lastly, GPAUD, want to see price breaking below here, and then price retesting back at this point, and we can catch a sell. Because the daily is bearish, you can see here. Lower, higher, high, higher, low. It's bullish, so we need the shift. We want that sell. And the 4 hour is also very much bearish. So, so this will be a very interesting pair to speculate this week. Maybe I can learn a few things too. Okay. Because what will happen is price will continue making these lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And once it gets that, that's to come back at this point. So let's say we have a lower high at this point and it takes it out. That would be nice because we'll be waiting for a shift and can sell on the 4 hour time frame. That's if we get something like this. Okay. But we'll be seeing what will happen. Then these pairs, uh, AD and ZD, you can see, we still need price to shift. Not the weekly. We still need the daily to shift so we can buy. You see the price shifts from this zone. Our price makes a new lower low and a lower high and shifts at this second OG level. And by the look of things, you can see this is where I will be heading. USD price has bought massively and we can only sell when we are below this level. So there's nothing I can do now. GBP USD. I want price to close below this level like that so that we can have a shift at this point and then we can have a retest and then we can have that buy. Okay. Then we have Euro USD. I want to sell. But first I have to get this shift. And I think today might be the day we get it. And we can now start looking at the sales. Yeah. And since the day will take out this low, and if you can clearly see it, the only way I can buy is when price is here. The euro will has to go bullish on the 4 hour time frame at this point, meaning this will retest in a bullish way. And then we'll be waiting for a shift at the 4 hour time frame, then we can sell. Giving us that daily holding as well. Euro CHF, I still expect price to come back here. Then we can sell. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next. Uh, I welcome you guys. I welcome you guys and hope everyone had a very nice afternoon. Mm, I hope you all enjoyed your morning as well. This is the afternoon session. Okay, and this is now New York session, yeah, right there. Yeah. So this is Euro GBP. So now you can see how we just saved ourselves from this stop loss, being stopped out. If we put this this, if we enter this trade and put our stop loss right below there, targeted this low. Okay. And you guys just think I'm just wasting time. But look at this, look at what happens next. Price ends up taking you out, even though there's this engulfing at the OG level. Okay. Why? Because like I told you, when price breaks above, it leaves a level where it can react from, which is this point here. Okay? Meaning this engulfing has to take place at this point, and then it will engulf like that. Then if this is a missed trade, yes, then we'll miss it and price goes back selling. Okay? Uh, but as you can see, price ends up breaking inside, right? So the only way we can say what I told you is if price breaks below, breaks outside of this zone here. But if you notice, when price breaks outside, we'll be away from our OG level here, which is this point there. Okay? That's where you saw me now add on to this strategy saying that we expect price to make a new higher high. Okay? That's what I told you. But I expect price to make a new higher high at that point. Let me just try to increase this. Okay. Uh, let's try to see if this mouse will work. Mm. Oh, oh, the mouse is working, guys. Okay, so we shall use the mouse for now. Mm. So what I'm saying is, let me just find a rough surface. Okay. Okay. So what I'm saying is, mm, in this case, I need price to make a new. Why? So that when we have a shift at this point here in the forward time frame, we'll take out this higher low here, okay? And we can catch a sell at least at this point. You see? Because if we catch a sell at this point, uh, this will mean that our if we're catching a sell at this point, this means that uh this means that this is what we expect to see. We expect price to break below and retest at that point. But if it gives us an engulfing at this level, this is a no trade zone, you see? So that's why price is been reacting like this. Because it wants to give you an entry at the no at the trade zone, you see? And with this analysis, you should be quite all right, uh, quite right and okay with price. If you enter your sale at that point, with price coming back all the way to that level, okay? And that means your stop loss will be, your take profit will be a bit lower And for you just to get a 1 to 2, you see how much you're supposed to uh how much you're supposed to risk for it to just get to 1 to 3. This is you stretching yourself to a position that price last tested in last year. Let me show you. This is the level where you'd be expecting. Uh, and price can come back here. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just us trading off uncertainty, okay? Mm. We just don't target the take profit just because one price to reach there. We see again use logic behind it because this is the lowest one. So to be wise, if you come out at this level, and if price breaks below and we test, then you can also continue with the sales. You see? But in this case, if you see the risk to reward is not making sense for us. This is bad. This is just a 1 to 1, almost doing nothing, you see? Mm. So, how do we approach this? Remember, I want to sell at this point. Okay. So, this thing can give us two ways of participating. Either price makes a new high and comes and shift it, then we can sell. Okay. Or price breaks below this lower low while leaving a new lower high here. So we can wait for a retest at that structure point. I think even if it doesn't leave out any structure, this is already our potential higher low, our potential structure point where price can sell from, because this might turn into our higher low, this point here. Okay, if price can make a lower low like that, this will be our lower high, and this will be our lower low when we take out this level, you see. And so this means that we have done this. So we can wait for price to come back here and then we can sell. You see? This means that when price comes back at this point, we wait for price to give us an engulfing. So there are two ways we can play it this way, uh, or uh, this other one. But we are still selling, don't worry. Um, just have to see how price plays it when it's at this point. Mm, so the next thing is, and what really is giving me the confidence of expecting price to have a higher high at this point is because price already gave us now. Remember when we opened, we had no weak fill, but price did the fill and still rejected. So it might be a chance we might close bullish today, but we'll see. We'll see how price will um present itself to us. Mm, NZD USD. What an amazing pair. So what we have now is price simply retesting the OG level. So we are having some progress there. Yeah. Mm. Okay. So what does this mean to us as traders of this pair? This simply means that we are still waiting for price to close bullish and then give us a bearish reaction here. Yeah. The only reason I use this holding strategy is because of the geopolitical news that has been happening recently. Okay. Uh, when everything is back to normal, sometimes we'll even be entering without waiting for this. Yeah. But the market changed, so we adapted. I know. So what we have now is prices retesting this level. And but you know what I came to find out was even if I wasn't using this holding strategy, price always did this before it continued selling or buying. Always. That I can guarantee you. You see? Uh, especially here, you can see what happened. I was looking for sales, then price bought up. Then when price closed with the bearish engulfing, gave me a two. You see? Then now my focus was on the forward time frame, and then I sold. You saw? The same thing here, price retested, then gave me a two, and my focus was on the daily time frame, then I sold. So most of the time, it always does that, and just a few times when price, even here, price broke below. Here, I was actually against the trend. I was just lucky. Yeah, I think so. That's how it's still the same thing if you think about it. So now, since price is at this point, we switch to the forward time frame, okay? And since we switch to the forward time frame now, uh, the daily will still have to push further up. You even know that. Then we can have the shift, okay? Because even though the daily was to close bearish tomorrow, at this point, just after this forward retest like this, I can't really sell, okay? Because price has a high chance of what? Retracing back here. So what does this show me? This shows me that uh the daily might even give us a two here. The 4 hour is likely to take out this high and then shift, then we can sell. Okay? Because let me say if price retest with this, let's just draw out this same the way price is looking here. We have that lower high, we have this, and then price comes back the way it's at this point here. Okay, then it gives an engulfing right here. When I enter my sell here, I have to put my stop loss right above that point. This is too much, okay? Because you can see the distance between these two. So what's better is, that's why I really wanted this to make a new lower low, so we can have a nice shift of a bullish structure. So whenever we get that shift, price will simply just give us that, yeah, perfect entry we need. It won't be 100% perfect, but it will be just reasonable enough for us to risk our capital, you know. So what you expect, guys, is price to come back at this point here. Okay? And this is still fine. Let me show you a good part about this. Uh since my my entry plan is at this point, right? This point here. This is where I'm planning to place my entry, right? Uh if price comes back at this point here, this is still fine. And if it doesn't break above, then price starts making lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. I can still buy, I can still sell. Sorry. Okay. But first, what I want is price to retest the original OG level in the forward time frame. That has to be respected regardless. This one. If we don't get that, don't take the trade. Okay. So this is the first scenario. Okay. And the second one is let's do something. This is the second scenario where price is making higher highs and then price shifts after taking out that higher lower high. This is fine. Okay. So we expect these two things to happen before we make any conclusion. Okay. Uh, you've noticed that my attention has now shifted. You can notice that my attention has now shifted. Uh, First, my concern was the daily time frame and the weekly time frame, and now you can see that we have already dealt with these time frames. Mm, but now this became turned into a trade. So what price is now doing is simply retesting like an A trade should. Okay. Then we have another bullish holding at this point. Okay. Then we can enter. Yeah. So this is what we are now expecting. Mhm. But don't worry, we'll catch a trade this week. Yeah, I might catch a trade this week. I've seen the way the market is moving. Just be patient. AUDNZD. Price is doing the exact thing we wanted it to do, you see. I told you if price decides to break below my daily level like this, my concern is not if price breaks. My concern is the 4 hour shift. You see, this is where we're having the 4 hour shift. So for me to really sell this level, I need at least price to continue making lower highs, lower lows. You see, some things like this. Then you can wait for price to retest back there and we can sell. Okay. This is what we are we are looking for. You see, this is what I'm trying to make the market do, you know. Remember, I told you this week pullback can be this 4 hour retest and at this point an entry position there, you see. But most importantly is I want the daily closing below here. And if the daily closes below there, we just wait for price to continue um with the sales. You know, it can either do that and do this, but that's what I'm saying. This week we might catch a sell or buy because of the way the markets are moving. First step is we just want to see the daily holding like it will do when we see the 4 hour time frame now. Okay? The same way we've seen in Euro GBP, the daily is holding, but you've seen how careful we are in approaching the 4 hour time frame. We're not just we're not just in the markets because uh we we are not just selling because we finally got what we wanted, no. We are strategic about our intentions all times. Okay? Mm. And you can see when we get the break here, we even have a nice head and shoulder. See, so this will mean that price might sell. And this can be a very fast sell up to this level. Because I know how this pair moves. Most of the time, it's fast when it's ready to push. The reason why it's doing this because it's not ready to sell. USD card, I like the daily rejection so far, the 4 hour rejection. If you can continue having that momentum to the downside, hopefully price can break below the 4 hour low, higher low, and this would be a very good setup. AUD JPY, finally we got what I was telling you I needed, that lower high and that lower low. So from now on, I know when the 4 hour starts going up, to be making high highs and high lows and high highs and high lows and high highs. So when we're at this point, if we look at the daily time frame, that's when we have a retest to this level, because that's what we want in the daily time frame, you know. You see, we want price to come back here, then we can sell. So it's a very nice start. Mm, then once we are here, we wait for that daily holding pattern, and that holding will be moved by the 4 hour engulfing, okay? The 4 hour shift. So whenever I say the holding, I'm really just talking about the 4 hour shifting and giving us that entry signal we need, okay? That's just the whole thing about it. Mm, the card, price is buying. Mm, no, it rejected the daily higher low. That's very nice. And now it's aiming up. It's at this point. So if price wants us to buy at this OG level, price has to come and make a new lower low, okay? And then we'll wait for the shift and the daily and the retest, and then we can buy. This will mean that the daily might sell, and then the daily might also have a bullish push that breaks above. You see? That's when we now get that clear daily push where we say it's now forming a two because it broke above, broke below, but then still came back at our level. Yeah. So that's the whole science behind it. Or if price doesn't want us to buy now, it will continue making higher highs until it breaks above this level. Then we can wait for a retest and then buy from this point. Okay. Why? Because this is the 4 hour lower high, and this is where we can get the shift. Obviously, price will have a higher low when breaking here. Okay. Breaking above this level, sorry. So this means that on the weekly time frame, what happens is price just comes back at this point where we wanted to buy next week. You see, making all this still fun play around with at this point here. So it just means we have a daily push like that. See, meaning the weekly push like that. Meaning that other week we just continue buying because now we are outside of this level again. Okay. So that's why I was not really stressing on this pair because I knew even if we miss it this week, we can buy at this point still. Okay. At least we just be sure that the daily time frame doesn't want to shift at this point. So that's the approach we're having. Mm, AUD current, you can see some momentum there. Price is kind of building its rejection. Though the 4 hour is still bearish. Mm, so this here should just tell you on your own that price will make a new lower low. And then we'll have a shift. And then we can buy. This means that you expect another daily bearish push below this level. Hmm. Either it's a weak pullback or it's something that you expect the daily to sell again because you only have 1 point to buy from, which is here. Doesn't give you that, then you won't catch this buy. See? So that's why you see me come here and tell you I still need price to sell because I've seen the structure of the 4 hour time frame. See? Um, USD JPY. Uh, Surprisingly, this pair that I thought would be slow this week is now dropping. And let's see if it takes out this lower higher low. So we can have a retest here and a shift, making the daily also holding at the same time. Then we can buy. Eurocard really struggled at that point. But like I told you, I can only buy when price is at this level because the weekly time frame hasn't yet broken above this. Okay, I'm not yet above this level, so I can start buying at this point. So nothing will be done. GBP, GBP AUD, price. I'm still deciding whether to make a high low now or a high high or to break above. So still nothing. GP card, uh, price is, oh, price is rejecting for now. So let's still see what happens. Okay. And price can even break above and then shift at this point. This can also work. So anything, we should be ready for anything. And my favorite gold, I'm still waiting for the retest there. My US oil is now doing a good job, so I can see this might be my level. where I get my shift. If price can just close below this point, then I'll start waiting for that daily shift. Then you can buy it. Okay. So that's it for this session, and I'll see you in the next. Okay. Take care. It's a very nice New York opening. Uh, uh, Good evening, guys. So let's jump right back to the markets. Uh, this is our USD, and uh, looks like we are having a good potential price testing back to this point. Uh, Euro GPP. Remember what I was showing you? The price is most likely to buy at this point. And, and that's what price is aiming for. You see? So even almost took out the price level that we were waiting for. Uh, so what we expect is what we'd love to see is price really just breaking above that zone. And once price breaks above that zone, uh, that can be a very nice confirmation. Don't you think so? Oh, sorry. I also hope everyone had a very good day. And if you didn't, at least the Lord gave you life. Um, you have to be thankful for it. Anyway, like I showed you, this is where we are now. We're in the middle of two crossroads right now. So it's either price breaks above this lower high and makes a new higher high. So we can now wait for a shift at our daily OG level here. Or price uh will drop just from this point and sell. But still we can also participate from the trade. For I've showed you how we tackle the all movement. Okay. Yeah, so it's a very good spot where we are now. It also just needs a bit of patience, and we'll give it that patience. Okay. Mhm. Next thing we have is uh NZD-USD. Like I showed you, if just because price has retested this level, it doesn't really mean that price will sell immediately. Okay. And you can see that's what's going on right there. So that's what we'll move with. Oof, trust me, this place is very hot. Uh, it's almost 27 degrees now. That's why kind of talking slow. So we need price to come back at this point and observe how price will react, okay? So there's still a higher chance that price might go bearish and then end up going bullish. Then we get the shift at this point. This might happen also. Or price might continue buying up and retest this level here. Okay? This point here. So right now I'm just opening you guys to ideas so that you can be free with any idea that goes on. Because the daily right now you can see it hasn't even yet closed fully at our OG level. This indicates that price still has a long way to go in these sales. Okay. And we'll just be patient with it as well. So the next thing we have is AUD NZD. So this one, price seems to be a bit active. You can see we're having that bearish daily rejection. And this is a very good sign that price is holding. Uh, this means that our only focus will be on the way the 4-hour time frame will be shifted at this point tomorrow. Okay. And according to how it will shift, that's how we'll take this trade. It will shift aggressively from this point without any retest, without any retest. I'll still be waiting for price to drop back inside this level and then give us an entry signal. Okay. So we just see on now to retest if the daily time frame closes bearish, because now this is almost showing, it's almost showing us that it's holding. You can all see that. So the only foul thing we have is that the 4-hour is bearish, is bullish, and where the retest will be happening from is not our OG level. So this means that we expect price to break below and then shift and then retest this level with a bullish with a bearish new structure at this point. You see? And then price can sell. This is what we might end up doing. That's if we just get the immediate drop and a break below this point here. Okay? But we can also get another situation where because price is very fun. Can even give you a bearish break and then take you out but still sell. So we can also get something like this. Let me just try to show you. Price making a new low high, a new lower low. Okay, another new lower high, a new lower low. So when price shifts at this point, I can't buy because it's not my OG level. So I have to wait for price to come back to my OG level. Okay, meaning when price comes back here, the 4 hour will go bullish again. You see? And then that means you have to wait for a 4 hour shift around this level, making the 4 hour to what? To go bull to buy more. And then have that shift, retesting this level, and then have the shift, and then the retest and the sell. Okay. Yeah, so but now let's just wait for the daily to close. When the daily closes, now we'll be able to deal with the 4 hour time frame nicely. Okay. But right now, all we can do is just wait for the daily to close and see the real intention of this price. Okay. But you know, the good part is what you should know is that price will sell. Price will definitely sell. Okay. It will definitely sell. Mm, and you can see why price is selling now. It's because price finally tapped into this level where I told you price should come back and then it's giving you that engulfing. This means that price will now uh will now take into consideration this engulfing candle. Mm. I'm telling you, it's very hot, very hot. But yeah, so we'll just see how the day will close. And as you can all see, uh, as you can all see, this is we didn't get this, we didn't get this to happen. So let's just remove them because price, is likely going to respect this, uh, points. Okay. So I don't confuse you. So what we end up having is price making a daily uh break. So this is a sign that we made a two. Remember, like we anticipated. So now that we have a two, our focus is on the 4 hour time frame. Okay. How are we trading in the 4 hour time frame? You see? Mm, as price, is the price in the same trend or is price in a different trend? Get. But the main key is you have to make sure the you have to make sure the 4 hour time frame uh is in line with the trend. Okay. So wait, kushaka unakuwa kushaka fish. That's nice. You feel window para as well. Ou com uma suffocation. Yeah, good. Okay. Now I'm back. So what I was trying to say is, since we have now uh, completed the 4 hour time frame, the daily time frame, we can now switch to the 4 hour time frame. Mm, this means that in this case, when the price was retesting back to this point, the 4 hour time frame, price was making high highs and uh, higher lows. Okay, so this is what price did in this case for this pair. So, so what we have in this case is price is now at this point, right? Yes, where price is. So this is the 4 hour time frame. Okay? Mm, the 4 hour time frame now. So if you look at this, we can only sell when price breaks below this level. You see? So now what I'm saying is, if price breaks below this level, and we test and give us that engulfing, this will be as a very nice entry to sell. But remember, you buy at the OG level and sell at the OG level. Yes, it's below the OG level, but it shouldn't be this far. At least if it's somewhere here. Okay. So what do we do? So if you've noticed in the 4 hour time frame, uh, let me just try to drag this paper quick. But this is what we are looking for, right? Break and retest and then sell. Hmm. If you've noticed how this 4 hour time frame is moving, uh, this is what we ended up having in prices at this point. Okay. So if price tends to break in this way, you see, let me make this. If price breaks below in this way, yes, we'll be bearish, but then we have to wait for price to come back here to then buy, to then sell, because this is the last OG point where I can sell. Okay. Because if this was the weekly or daily, this is why you'd be looking for sales if price broke below the lower higher low, right? So now, if you notice what I'm trying to say here, uh this is the first case, but what if we get a case where price does the same thing, uh but price ends up making these lower lows and lower highs and breaks below. Okay. Uh this means that again we'll apply the same thing, but now it will be around this OG level here, and we can sell. Why? Because now the same point is happening at my OG level, you see? So these are the ways I can participate in my sales. If I have this kind of break, without price making any immediate lower lows and lower highs, I expect a bullish retest. Uh, I expect this bullish retest back to this point here. This is what I expect. You see? This is what we expect if price ends up breaking without any level. Because this is where price last gave us an opportunity to sell. You see? So when we're at that point, then we can sell. But you know how price usually moves? This can also be overwritten. How? Take for instance, price ends up making this same break. Let's do this. Let's do this a bit. Okay, so you can have more, uh, you can have more scenarios too. Okay, this right. So it's all starting from this point. Okay. Price can also have something like this. The break. Uh, in this case, what price has done is this. Price can have a break, then a retest, and then even show us it's selling, but won't do anything because it's not at our OG level. Then take out this lower high and go bullish. When it goes bullish, we have to wait for price to come back at this point, and then we wait for another high so we can have the shift at least at the immediate uh, mm, lower OG level, you see. So a lot of things can happen in the forward time frame. We can have a position where price just breaks without giving us any entry. That's still that's very much possible because this is what the forward time frame has done right now. Something like this. Okay. So price can either give us a selling chance at this OG level here or at this OG level. You see? So we'll be very much careful with how we handle this trade. But now we are dealing with the 4 hour time frame. So you guys can know how I go about the trades when it's now in the 4 hour zone. Okay? But now I can't really predict it or give you anything. I want you guys to move with me. Whatever happens, then I update this move. But for now, just know that we are at this level in our way to retest and we are waiting for a shift at this point. Okay? So we'll see. We're still in this market. Uh, this is how we're looking in the forward time frame. That's why you saw me making this line. Okay? So this line can be updated as well. Uh, if price decides to make a push and then breaks further, okay, then this will be our immediate lower low where price can come back to sell from. Okay. It's not stuck, it's not static, but you can't really change. It's just the current one for now. Okay. But I like what's happening so far. And we just watch patiently. Mm, USD card price chose not to retest our level for today. But still, that's fine. We are still waiting for any possible sell momentum. If it doesn't happen, we'll see if it will happen next week. That's also fine. Okay. Uh then what do we have here? We need price to come back at this point. That's the only key. That's the only important thing. Is price coming back to this point here. And then from there, we can really make our decision after we see the daily giving us its holding. Okay. And the moment you see this kind of lower high being broken, this should even tell you that price is most likely to retest at this point and give you the holding candle. So this will be fine. Just have to wait a bit more. So by the look of things, you can see that Euro GPP and ADNZD are the ones that are a bit likely to give us a trade for now. Yeah. So we're still weighing out our options. Okay. And lastly, ADJPY seems not to be retesting, but we need it to come back here. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, they're also having some sort of momentum before the actual build to buy back to this point. So all we do for now is just wait. The next thing is NZD card. This is something for next week. Like I told you, if you see something like this happening and there's no any form of a 4-hour lower high or lower low that it can take out, it should show you that price either has to make a new lower low and then shift at this point, or come back and take out this level here. Then we can look for buys. That's just the only way we can do it. Either price chooses to take out this uh low or make a new low at this point. Okay. Next is AUD card. I'm also expecting a new low and a shift because that's the only sensible way I can sell. I can buy. Rather than that, we are still waiting. Okay. Mm, yeah. Then you can also see on the daily time frame yourself that price really has to do some um some so it has to give you some build up of any sort, so we can now switch to your buy options. Okay, but for now just lay low and just watch it do its thing. Okay. I hope you guys you notice how calm I am when I'm analyzing the pairs. It's like I don't want them to give me a trade. That's how you become profitable, brother. Yes, you want to trade, but go in the market as if you don't want to trade. For then you choose carefully that even if you lose, you'll be mind free. Okay? Because the market is always there to save you. The market is always there to give you an opportunity to capitalize off your hard work. And not every week is an opportunity, but you show up regardless of the pitfalls you find. You show up regardless, even if the day had no sunshine in it. You show up regardless, even though your boss never got any feel of uh, your desires. They just show up, you know. And you see how the Lord will work for you in the markets will heal to you, you know. Just wait. So you notice I'm always calm. This way I can't make any logical decision because I know what I want. And if it gives me what I want, I will participate in the trade. Doesn't, I won't. Simple as that. USD JPY. I like the push we had, but price uh seemed to reject it. So I'll just wait for the daily close and see if we have hope of selling till we reach our level here. Eurocard, even if price does this, this won't make us buy. The weekly didn't close above this level, like I told you. So we only have to sell, buy when price is at this point. That's all for this week. Can't get that, then nothing. GBP price is kind of struggling either to break above, mm, and then give you that lower high, higher low and higher high, or to just give you the higher low now and then shift and then new high then shift. Because we can only sell when we are below at this point, okay? And this is no OG level point. That's why when you see such things, you expect price to buy higher so that the shift can happen at this OG level or that OG level, either at this point or that point, okay? Next thing we have is GPP card. Price seem to be rejecting the OG level. Uh, and we're expecting price to break. But this still stands. We just need the daily to go bearish for now. So it's either the price breaks at this point like that, or price makes a new high and then shifts at this level, G level. Okay, so anything can really happen, but all we need is our shift. Then I think that's it for now, and I'll update you guys at 10 to close the markets. Stay blessed. God loves you all. Welcome back, guys. So this is our close, and let's just go through it. One last day, having this Monday close, US30 that Monday close, S&P 500, uh, having that close, uh, US oil, I like what I'm seeing. I just want price to break below. Okay, if price can break above that way, then we can come and buy. So what's next is price wants to, I need it to make a new lower low, and Bitcoin want the weekly to have the shift. ZAR USD mean price to retest here. Euro GBP. For now you can see You can see that price is having this kind of break, kind of close. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay. We'll see the kind of break we're having. Mm, and this is really above our OG level, so there's nothing we can do here except wait and see when price breaks outside of this one. Okay. Uh, AUDNZD. So as I was telling you, I need the day before to give me maybe a high high, a lower high, and a new lower low. Um, but you can see how the daily is closing. This is a very nice indication to be ready for sales next week. NZD-USD, I still need a full daily closure at this point, so we are still waiting for that to happen. USD card, we wanted price to retest back to this level, but price didn't do it. AUD wanted price to retest back at this point, the price didn't do it, so we are still waiting. NZD card, price is having a nice daily rejection. But remember, I told you the 4 hours to make a lower low so that this can be a viable spot. So that means we'll be waiting more for that 4 hour shift. And AUD card, you can see it's also the same thing I'm looking for in the 4 hour time frame. And now I just want to see how the daily will react at this point. USD maybe if you can get that retest. AUD, USD, Eurocard still need that retest. GPAUD still need that high and a high low, either at this point or outside this level. The GP card need the daily shift. So this is where we end, and I hope you guys have a very nice um time with this video. Uh AUDNZD AUD can see price hasn't yet shifted. USD nothing interesting. Uh GPUSD we almost at the shift, but not yet. Euro USD the same thing. Euro CHF still price is at at the OG level. So I think that's it for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay.